Hello, my name is Ryan Cluft and I'm with Leading Providers, a service of Goldline Research. We are a leading marketing and information services firm headquartered in Novato, California, which is just north of San Francisco and the Golden Gate Bridge. We created this video to explain who we are and what we do, and to provide you a brief overview of the mortgage brokerage market. During this video, I will tell you more about Leading Providers, the services that we offer, and our certification process. Then, I will discuss the mortgage brokerage industry, including the characteristics that you should be looking for as you consider mortgage brokers, and some of the market dynamics and industry benchmarks that we've found in the mortgage brokerage marketplace. As I mentioned earlier, we are a leading marketing and information services firm. Our firm was founded in 2004, and our mission is to empower consumer choice by identifying leading professional services companies. To achieve our mission, and to provide value for both consumers and businesses, we research and evaluate thousands of service providers each and every year. When we conduct our research, we leverage a multi-step certification process that allows us to better understand what makes service providers stand out within their respective marketplace. In fact, we've been told countless times by both consumers that use our research and the service providers that we evaluate that our research process is among the most thorough that they have ever seen. Our research enables us to provide unique marketing and information services to consumers and businesses. Those services include online directories, industry-specific selection guides, and a dedicated YouTube channel. Our online directory, which can be found at www.leadingproviders.com, is a consumer-oriented website that includes extensive resources to enable consumers to both research industries and to identify leading local service providers that have passed our certification process. Our industry-specific selection guides are 15 to 20-page selection guides that consumers use to evaluate the service providers that they're considering. These guides contain key selection criteria and industry terminology to help make the decision-making process that much easier. And they're customized by industry. And finally, we created a dedicated YouTube channel where we publish industry overview videos as well as brief service provider videos. These videos help provide additional insight into these leading service providers and give consumers a more intimate understanding of these companies. We are proud of the process that we've developed to evaluate service providers throughout the country. As I mentioned before, we've been told countless times by both consumers and service providers that our process is comprehensive and that it produces high quality and accurate results. Our certification process is tailored to each industry that we evaluate. As a result, we incorporate both quantitative and qualitative criteria in our evaluation process. We know that consumers need to feel comfortable that the mortgage broker that they select will not only perform well, but also provide dependable client service when the inevitable issue arises. Our mortgage broker certification process incorporates multiple steps, including individual company interviews, public records checks for current mortgage licenses and company status, and provider benchmark analyses where we determine how a mortgage broker stacks up against his or her peers. A mortgage broker who fails any of the aforementioned steps does not receive our certification and is therefore not included in our directory at www.leadingproviders.com. Please note that mortgage brokers do not pay a fee to us to go through the certification process, which helps keep our process objective. Now let's move on to our discussion of mortgage brokers. So what do mortgage brokers actually do? Well, mortgage brokers play a crucial role in facilitating the purchase of real property, that is, a home, a condo, or even land. Mortgage brokers are intermediaries. They connect consumers to lenders, which are typically banks, who can provide financing for the purchase. Mortgage brokers maintain extensive knowledge of various mortgage rates and types that are offered by multiple lenders, which is important for you because you want to ensure the best possible, that is the lowest, rate with the best possible terms. Mortgage brokers also pre-qualify you for the purchase of real property based upon your income, your assets, your debts, and other factors. Note that mortgage brokers do not approve or make loans themselves. They only pre-qualify applicants based upon lender guidelines, and they're typically compensated by lenders in the form of a commission. Nearly all states regulate mortgage brokers and require licenses. On a federal level, there are numerous federal regulations that help govern the industry. What makes a good mortgage broker? Here are a few of the things that we have found in our research. But first, I want to remind you that for most people, the purchase of a home or condo is one of, if not the most important financial decisions you will make in your lifetime. Therefore, choosing a good mortgage broker is essential. So here's what we've found. First, A good mortgage broker maintains a deep database of lenders and products, that is mortgage types, to work with, and we've found that most successful mortgage brokers work with at least 10 or more lenders. Second, a mortgage broker screens you. You're known as the applicant, carefully to ensure affordability and accuracy of the information that you've provided. Third, a mortgage broker provides a wide range of products, again mortgage types and rates, to ensure that you have a wide range of options. And finally, a mortgage broker communicates well and listens carefully to your needs. This is by no means intended to be an exhaustive list, but is a good starting point that you should consider if you're currently thinking about using a mortgage broker for the purchase of your home or condo. Our research shows that the mortgage brokerage industry has changed dramatically over the last few years. Today, there are fewer than 20,000 mortgage brokers. That compares to nearly 55,000 2 years ago, and the industry is continuing to contract rapidly. Concurrent with the aforementioned industry contraction, we've found that most brokers have shifted their activity towards FHA and REO activity as the real estate market continues to search for a bottom. Our research indicates that leading mortgage brokerage firms in the United States meet or exceed most or all of the following benchmarks. They typically have 5 loan officers or originators on staff. They typically have 1 loan processor on staff. And over the lifetime of the company, they've funded approximately $280 million in loans. They've typically worked with approximately 68 lenders in the last 12 months. The average loan officer or originator has approximately 8 years of experience. There are typically 7 people on staff in the firm. The ratio of loan officers or originators to processors is 3 to 1, and that's particularly important because that's the check and balance that exists in the mortgage industry. And finally, the typical firm has about 16 years of industry experience, which means they've weathered some of the ups and downs in the marketplace, especially over the last few years. Based upon our experience in evaluating mortgage brokers of the last 5 years, there are a number of things that you should consider when selecting one. Do work with mortgage brokers that take the time to educate you about your financial picture, that is, how much you can afford comfortably, and your mortgage options, that is, the mortgage types that are available to you. Remember that this is probably going to be one of the most important financial decisions that you will ever make. Do work with brokers that have 10 plus years of industry experience, as they've likely seen both ups and downs in the real estate market. In a challenging environment like this, longevity and experience are very important. And do work with brokers that are appropriately licensed for the state in which they work. Most states require licenses, so verify the license of the broker that you are working with. Do not work with brokers that are captive to a single lender, as they usually do not provide a range of competitive offerings. From time to time, a broker may have a unique relationship with the development in which the broker offers attractive rates and/or products, but that's the exception rather than the rule. Do not work with brokers that have multiple complaints and/or grievances filed against them. This should be obvious, but there are many shady brokers out there. Stay away from them. And finally, do not work with brokers that do not disclose fees or commissions, that is, how they're paid, up front. Broker compensation is not a secret, so ask if the broker has incentives to push one product over another. Again, this is not intended to be an exhaustive list, but should be considered a good starting point. So, in summary, the role of a mortgage broker is one of an intermediary. Brokers help connect consumers with lenders for the purchase of real property. Choose carefully when working with a mortgage broker, as the purchase of real property is one of the most important financial decisions that you can make. Despite a dramatic contraction in the industry, there are still nearly 20,000 mortgage brokers throughout the United States, so you should have plenty of options when trying to find a high-quality mortgage broker to work with. Leading Providers offers a number of resources including an extensive directory of leading mortgage brokerage firms, as well as a mortgage broker industry selection guide to help you identify a leading mortgage broker to address your individual needs. I want to thank you for taking the time to learn more about Leading Providers. We're proud of the work that we do to identify outstanding professional services providers throughout the United States. If you have any questions or if you need more information, please visit our website at www.leadingproviders.com or call us at 415-892-9400. A brief disclaimer follows.